Hey boys, yeah, we're doing bad boys in the gang. We're doing
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that.
So I think our manager at the time asked us randomly. She was like, "Have you guys ever gone to Nigeria?" And no.
And she'd been going there consistently.
Yeah. And she was like, "Wait, you've never been? No. You've done LA, you've done London, you've never been back home." And I think it dawned on us at that point, like, wow, we've never actually been. We're 27, 28, we've never been. And I think that stems from family. You know, me personally, like the whole conversation was just like, you know, the family back home in Nigeria is this way. And
they're gonna kill you.
You have to protect the children. I remember my grandfather's like funeral, they said, don't bring the children, this and that. We've had prophecy and da-da-da-da. So at the time when you're young, you're like, okay, I'm not going. And then you grow up with this narrative that Nigeria is bad. So that's not a primary thing for you until when our manager was just like, yo, there's an opportunity for you to go to Nigeria and work with, you know, the artists at the time signed to Universal and do a camp. I was like, heck yeah. And use that moment to connect with my family and meet my grandmother for the first time and really be home. You know, like, it's different when you grow up in a community in London, but when you go to a place where everything is you.
Yeah. Everyone looks like
you, from the music, the energy, the smell self. Like, you know, it was a sense of home, and it was just like, okay, there's something here we need to do. You know, we've done London, we've done LA. There's something in Lagos, Africa, this continent that we have to do. And that trip birthed that conversation.
Yeah, that started it.
Yeah.
That started it. It was surreal, you know. Like you said, my parents as well were very much like, Nigeria was a bad idea. Like, if I was ever gonna go to Nigeria, it would have to be with them. Yeah. Like, I couldn't go by myself or with anybody else. And they had hidden us away from our culture, essentially who we were, where we were from, for good reason, you know. You know, they had left or had come from a state of fear, a state of, you know, uncertainty. So they didn't want to, you know, allow their kids in any way to experience that. And I remember just telling my mum, and she was like, Nigeria?
Same.
You want to go to Nigeria to
Same.
do what? What? Who's going with you? Who's your security? All of these questions that I had never even thought of was even gonna even be important.
A problem, yeah.
But you step there and you just feel like you're a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the word purpose became very important. You know, you hear purpose being thrown around, but when you step into Nigeria, you feel that sense of responsibility. Like, this isn't even about me anymore. Like, if it began with me, it's not even about me anymore. It's through me, because there are other people that are looking to me subconsciously for guidance or for help. And that's what Nigeria meant to me. It's just like, all right, this is no longer about us. This is about more than us. We're just a part of what's about to happen. And we're seeing it now, you know? And, you know, Don Jazzy's one of the, if not one of the GOATs.
What's going on here?
Went to his house.
We went to his house. We went to go meet him. You know, when you go to a territory, you respect the people that are there. We wanted to connect with him, and he received us with open arms. You know, we played him music, told him what we've been doing and stuff, and vice versa. And we were just like, look, how can we help where we can? You know, we just built the relationship. He even came out to LA and came to our studio.
Yeah.
And, you know, saw what we were doing, and we're just like, okay, there's like-minded individuals like me doing and building, you know. But in this particular picture, I have no idea what's going on with the Kung Fu team.
I think we just wanted to just
energy. It was just
energy. It was
a great night.
Yeah, very down to earth uncle. Let me put it that way. Yeah, really down to earth. You know, was the one that led this whole Afro, really helped start this thing.
Bare misty. That room was hot.
It was hot, bro.
That room was hot.
The room was hot, bro.
Yeah.
Fuzzy. Afrobeat has always been bubbling, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we grew up on it, you know, the Sunny Days, the Ebenezer Obeys, the Orlando Awards, like, it's always been bubbling. Afrobeat, let me be clear. because I know people will kill me.
They'll come and finish you. Yeah.
Afrobeat.
Yeah.
Obviously, it became Afrobeats, and you know, we grew up on the likes of Nice and
Like
Two-Face and
P Square
and Timaya.
Yeah.
And these people. So, you know, and I mean, when you're at an all African church, all you listen to is African praise every other day of the week.
This was natural to us.
So it was embedded in us, and then, you know, as time went on, I guess we started merging with Afrobeat artists. One of those artists being Kidda Kuds.
Yeah.
And this was as a result of a song that we did with Kidda Kuds that Tenny then jumped on.
Yeah.
And when we went to Nigeria, that was the first time that we had been in the studio with her like that. And we played a song, and it was just like, yeah, this is one of them ones.
And even with the Kidda Kuds like relationship, we had made a record called Again. And prior to us coming to Nigeria this time, that record was going off in Lagos that December. So everybody was like, yo, this song is incredible. Like, who made it?
Don't start it.
Yeah, and everyone was just like, who made it? And it was us. So when we got to Nigeria, the reception was just like crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to connect with us, and we just was like, okay, this is now making sense to us, you know? It's mad because as I look at this picture, it's emotional because she passed away recently. And I remember like that day going because first of all, it was a drive. It was like a 5-hour drive. And again, your mom's like, wait, you can't go and see, it's far, how are you gonna get there secure? I was like, Mom, there's no way I'm coming to Nigeria and I'm not gonna meet my grandma for the first time. But it was humbling. I think it made me realize that I've been blessed. You know, your parents leave a place for you to have opportunities, for you to be great. And you have no other choice to be great. And meeting this amazing woman of energy, praying for me, excited. I'm calling my mom, and my mom's having tears on the phone. I'm having tears. It's just like, hey, there is definitely something on this land that this music and this gift has brought me home for, you know? And I think, yeah, I'm truly grateful that I managed to meet this woman before she passed away. And it just makes me look at music different, you know? It makes me like be very intentional now with my gift. It makes me understand the purpose, like you said earlier, like, you know. But yeah, may she rest in peace.
No, I had to look again because I was like,
So,
yeah.
the camps.
The camps.
The camps.
Yeah, 2019 was really where the camp started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where we started putting on camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we went in 2019, Universal Nigeria brought us out there. And, you know, they were putting on this camp where they were bringing all these known artists and up-and-coming artists to do a camp with us, basically.
We had like...
we actually had Thames there.
Thames was there.
This was before Thames was even Thames.
Thames was there. She even met her manager now.
Well, you were there.
At the camp.
Yeah.
We was a close friend of ours.
Yeah.
So they connected there. We had like Maestro, Mins was there. Yeah. We had Tiwo pulled up as well. Yeah. Like we had a few people come. Adekunle Gold was there.
Yeah. It started. Yeah, that was where it started, and then it started becoming a tradition.
Yeah.
Where we would, you know, go over there and put on these camps. And more recently, we did this camp with PRS.
Yeah.
We put this camp on with PRS, and again, it's just going to Nigeria and just impacting and giving knowledge and, you know, giving these kids opportunities. And yeah, it's really become a thing, you know, for where we source talent, you know. But that whole Nigeria African thing started, you know, really giving us a sense of identity, in my opinion. The food, man. Just remember the food.
The food was amazing.
The food was crack. The food was amazing, bro. The food was great, bro. That night, Shaq, that night after eating that food, Bro, I had my
3 o'clock in the morning, all I heard was, get up. Get up and go to the toilet. Bro, you know when you pray to God like, please forgive me. I will never eat, because I ate 2. I overate.
Bro, and in Nigeria, you can't go.
You can't really go too ham like that.
Food's too fresh, bro.
I was on the toilet just praying. I
Done.
did the same thing the next day.
Done.
You live and you learn, you know. I think now it's just I'm in a knowing phase now.
Yeah, a self-awareness phase.
Self-awareness. I know the ability. There's no second guessing. There's no, are we good?
Yeah.
Or
no, we know we're good.
Does this music, is it gonna work? No, we've gone past that, and I think it's like knowing what I know. What do I do now? Where I'm at?
Yeah.
You know, and I think how do I elevate? And I think it's like I always say to you, it's like invest this farm. Yeah. Invest in this farm.
Till your farm.
Till this farm. Like make sure that this cup is full. Make sure all the ideas, all the songs that we want to do is done and executed to the point where it's just like it's undeniable. Yeah. And there's a peace of mind in that. I'm not going at anybody else's pace. You know, I'm very like, I'm gonna do this today and I'm cool with that. You know, I'm gonna do this tomorrow and I'm cool with that. And I think it's now birthing other ventures. You know, it's now birthing different sides to us. You know, we know we're not just music producers. You know, Mr. Fashionista. You know, you're doing your thing. I see you with the hat and that, shining and that. And I think with me, I'm more like going into the business and executive side, just because you know it's fun. You know, it's fun. And when you travel and you hear people's story with the business, you kind of be like, I want to go against that. You know, there has to be somebody that's going to set up something to help other people in this creative industry, and you know, birthed an agency from it, you know, to facilitate, you know, creative services however we can. And yeah, I'm just at peace, man. I think I'm at peace. What about you?
Not that I don't know the answer, but I feel like I'm in transition. Yeah, transition just because, you know, we've done things a certain way for a long time. You said something recently, which was, this is the first time we've actually had to do live. You know, for like 10 plus years, all we've done is music. That's all we've known. So, you know, this is the first time where it's like, okay, we're still doing music, but we're also doing. And in that, it's been tough for me. And it's been tough because, like I said, like there's a comfortability that comes with doing this same thing day in and day out. And then when there isn't studio, it's like, okay, so what do I do? You know? There's no studio today. What does man do, kind of thing? So it's been a transitional period, but a very necessary one, because for all the dreams and aspiration that I have, or we have as a collective, you know, there are moments where you have to slow down and stop and reevaluate and think and then implement. And we've been able to do that. I've been able to do that, you know. I've always loved fashion or dressing up or modeling or things in that same category. So, you know, being able to like walk LA Fashion Week and get castings in New York Fashion Week is something that like I wasn't even aware could happen as quick as it did. And it's happening. So yeah, very transitional, but very, very necessary. And it just shows the diversity in who we are as individuals and as collectives. Because no matter what, it always comes back to Sons of Sonix. You know, no matter how far he goes, no matter how far I go, Sons of Sonix is always at the forefront of that. And I think that's the beautiful thing about us as a collective, is the individual gifts that we have that make SOS what it is. So yeah, growth spurt.
So what's coming?
Oh, a lot of things.
A lot of things.
I'm traveling. Like I have to travel now. We have to definitely be on the plane. I think we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of sessions around the world. And we're going to put together a strong body of work for you guys. I think we're just at a point now where we can't say what we're doing. We're going to show you, and, you know, and I think we're going to put together an amazing project for everyone to enjoy. It's been a long time coming, you know, a long time coming, and I think it's time. It's time to pull it out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's fun. We've been working on it for a while. And no more waiting for people to tell us they're using them songs. We're using them songs.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So, and just more growth in everything else that we're doing. So, exciting times ahead.
What's it been like looking back through your journey, looking back through where you've come from and just sitting down and speaking about it? What have you learned? How do you feel?
Just a sense of gratitude, man. I know we throw that word gratitude around loosely, but gratitude is the attitude, especially when you look at these photos and you remind yourself of why you started it in the first place. And it's a good indicator to know that you're on the right path. And it's also a good indication that God is on time.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That's good. That's good. No, it's been amazing to see like the growth. You know, I remember these moments. You know, I remember like feeling a particular way, like, wow, I was really low here, or, you know, we found it very hard to just even understand ourselves as individuals. You know, so to look back and remember the success and the highs and the lows, the conversation is to basically keep going. You know, you're not always gonna know how it's gonna pan out. You're not always gonna have everything you need at that moment, but when the opportunity is there for you, it's because you're ready to take it. And I think where we are now is to definitely take the opportunities, you know. So yeah, it's been a crazy experience. I can't lie, seeing you without a beard is
crazy.
It's a bit brazy still. It did look like David though, my guy.
Young David.
I'm not gonna lie.
David.
But yeah, it's been fun.